That woman will never work in television again. The day after tomorrow in London, when I've got this wiped off, a film is to open, which is... I wondered why you're putting that on the chair there for me. So, a film is to open which has already blown up a sandstorm of controversy. There's even a cartoon about it in tonight's London Evening Standard. The film, of course, is called Caligula, and Mrs. Thatcher appears there as Caligula, but more about that later. Now, Caligula was the emperor who was far from the noblest Roman of them all, though the film has, in fact, a most noble lineup. Malcolm Mcdowell, Sir John Gielgud, Helen Mirren, and Peter O'Toole. The author, Gore Vidal, was supposed to be writing the screenplay, but had his name taken off the credits because he said his original idea was turned by the producer into pornography. You will all doubtless have read that the same producer, that's Bob Guccione of Penthouse magazine, has expressly forbidden the British press to see the film before it opens. So because tonight's guest is in fact Caligula himself, I took a cheap day return to Paris to see it and to select an extract. However, you will not be surprised to hear that I found nothing that is characteristic of the film that would be permissible to show at this time of night, or indeed at any other time of night, as far as I can see. It's certainly a very naughty film. If you woke up in the middle of it, you would be forgiven for thinking you were trapped in a positive equatorial forest of pubic hair, being forced to witness endless variations upon a single theme. It's a bit like It's a Knockout, but it's not as funny. It doesn't have Eddie Waring. So what are great names like Gielgud, Mirren and O'Toole doing in all this? Well, let Caligula speak for himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Malcolm Mcdowell. This is the second time we've faced each other on the screen.
It is indeed. It is indeed.
I thought I didn't do very well the first time.
I'm glad you said that. I didn't think you did very well the first time, but this time I think we're going to make up for it. It's going to be... I didn't do very well either, actually.
That was slightly... You see, I have had slight fears about it.
You know why? I know why, because it was the time, I think, of Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
You see, and everybody thought that I was this sort of heavy punk tough, and because of the part that I played in the film. But, of course, that's not true at all. I'm just a sweet, regular sort of...
Punk tough.
Punk tough.
Yeah. Now, shall we dispose of Caligula...
In one sentence.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, you asked me a question then. That's all right. It's your show. You can do it.
or get Betty's running back. Is it something that now is an albatross around your neck?
No, not at all. Not at all. Very simply, the film is... if anybody is thinking of going to it in this audience tonight, I would advise them not to. And it's rather a shame because I think when we started out with this project, there were some pretty heavyweight talents involved. Gore Vidal was doing the script, and he's a marvellous writer, as you know. And the cast, I think, is very good. We had a very interesting director, rather radical Italian director.
Name of?
Tinto Brass. Sounds like a sort of a cleaner for knives and forks, doesn't it? But anyway, so the idea was about Caligula, and I've always found this Roman emperor a really fascinating man, and the idea behind it was interesting, and I wanted to do it not as the Robert Graves, I Claudius Caligula. I wanted to make him to play him as a sane man, and I wanted to show that Caligula tried to destroy the Roman Empire from the top. From the inside, from the very top. In other words, to make him an anarchist, you see. And I thought that was a very interesting idea, so that his madness was thought out, and he was provoking all the institutions of Rome. Now, that was my idea, and that's what I tried to do.
Was that Gore Vidal's idea?
Yes, in part
Initially.
It was. Initially, yes.
Yeah.
And that's when I met with him. He was the one who wanted me to play the part.
Right.
And that is why I got interested. Now, the money, the people that put up the money for this thing, as you know, is Bob Guccione and Penthouse Films, as they've now become. Now, I'm just an actor, you see, in a thing. You don't really know and find out who's putting up the money. It's like Warner Brothers or Paramount, or they're just there to put the money up, and somebody pays for it, and you get off and you make the film. Unfortunately, of course, in this particular case, a lot of pornographic, explicit material, and I know that you've seen part of it anyway, was added a year later. They shot this stuff, and so if I do a close-up and look away, and I could be looking at a wall or something, they'd put in 2 penthouse pets, you see. So that the cast really were betrayed. But it's a betrayal, I think, of the talents involved.
I can't believe, though, that having gotten into it, that you were not aware which way it was going. I mean,
if you're making a film about Caligula, he was a pagan emperor. He was a pagan time. This is before Christ. It was never going to be, you know, Watch with Mother. It's a very, very...
Watch with Mother, it certainly ain't.
No, it ain't, no.
I really ought to
hopefully
say...
my mother won't watch it either, because I wouldn't suggest that... I'm not particularly... The thing is that the intent of the film, the original intent, has now been bastardized. And I feel rather that my work in it, although I'm proud of it, and I'm glad I did it, I certainly don't regret doing it. There are some scenes in that film that I'm extremely proud of, and I think that the actors, Helen Mirren, Peter O'Toole, and Sir John, are wonderful in the film. And parts of it, and parts of certain sequences in it are really wonderful, and I'm very proud of them. But the whole, all together, it was obviously made to make a fortune in money and to get big bucks,
yes,
and of course it's doing that.
And here's an interesting situation, because we can't use any clip to illustrate what we're talking about.
And you see, you had to go to Paris to see the film. He wouldn't even show it to you. He wouldn't show it to the press. They had to go and pay $7.50 to see it, so they gave it the most awful reviews. Imagine asking a critic to go and pay to see you. And admittedly, there's no pornographic... I don't do any pornographic material in that...
Oh, Malcolm.
Tell me. What are you referring to? Now, you see, you're going to make... They're all going to go dying to see it now.
This is what I was going to say.
See, you're playing into this man's hands, for God's sake.
I know. There is a terrible moral dilemma. Here we are talking about something which the people are leaving now. To try and get into
in droves.
To try to get out to see it. But there are certain things. You do an awfully... I can't even begin to describe what it is that you do. Am I blushing at all?
That'll be the day when I see you blushing, Russell. No, you're not blushing, all right.
Well, first of all, you pass water on the stage quite openly.
Well, listen, I told you, it's a pagan time.
But that's the mildest thing you do, Malcolm.
My father, I must say, thought I was brilliant.
Your father thought you were brilliant?
He thought that was the most perfect thing he'd ever seen in his life. He said, that's really good acting, or maybe you can do that on cue.
Still slightly wiggling in the middle, Malcolm, about
the fact that you couldn't...
Well, could you have walked off without...
No, you can't. I signed a contract.
Did you give Bob Guccione a piece of your mind?
Bob Guccione knows how I feel about him and the film. I've never kept that a secret, but I don't like sort of slagging people off in public, but I mean, you know... he's not exactly my best friend, I'll put it that way.
Is it pornographic?
I think the film is pornographic, yes. And that is, as it stands, as I saw it in America, it won't be here because they'll have, there's an enormous amount of cuts, I believe.
When, in 20 years' time, that you are the richest man in the whole world...
have you tried to... I mean,
well,
that's
let me finish my fancy.
Yes.
In 20 years' time, when you're the richest man in the whole world, you can buy all the copies of it, can't you, and take it out of
I'd love to buy them now.
And do what with them?
I'd have... well, Guy Fawkes' night's coming up, isn't it?
All right,
we could have a real good time.
Let's push Caligula behind our chair.
Yeah.
Are you ambitious?
Naturally, I'm ambitious, yes, and to do good work and to work with good people.
Like John Gielgud, you have a hang.
I love John Gielgud. I hope to do a play that he's going to direct, The Importance of Being in Earnest, on Broadway in the spring, hopefully. With
is that lining itself together?
We hope. I haven't spoken to John because I only got back yesterday.
Have you ever been directed by him?
No.
Can't he be slightly...
Oh, no, there's no better man in the world to direct Oscar Wilde and The Importance of Being Earnest. I should think I wouldn't want to do it with any other director, and it'll be a great privilege to work with him because I adore him and love him.
Well, a lot of people do, but there are legion stories about the things that he does and about the quixotic nature of his mind and about the fact he changes.
Do you know, there is one story, but I asked him whether it was true, and he said, I don't think I can remember that. I don't think so. Was it me? It may have been me. Yeah. Anyway, apparently he was on Broadway in a play, and he was being feted by everybody. Are you getting wound up?
No.
All right.
I'm stretching.
So I can... Okay. Mm-hmm. So he went anyway to a party given by an American actress called Mercedes McCambridge, and she's a very famous actress there. And there's only one Mercedes McCambridge. I mean, that's a very unique name. And so John went to this thing, and he was going to so many of these parties, cocktail parties and stuff. So he's sitting there, and Mercedes McCambridge says to him, well, tell me, Mr. Gielgud, you know, what have you been doing? He said, oh, practically boring, really, and I'm rather tired, and I've got to go to this awful thing, and I'm going to this dinner party with Mercedes McCambridge. And she said, but I am Mercedes McCambridge. And he said, oh, yeah, not you, dear, the other one. But he says it's not true. I don't think he remembers.
Of course it's true.
I think it sounds like Jonathan.
How long have you recently been happily married for?
I'm on my honeymoon.
Are you really?
Mary's here with me now, I think.
Is she really?
Somewhere.
Well, we better wish her a happy... I mean, you've elected to come here for your honeymoon.
There she is. Hello, darling.
Hello. Say hello to Mary.
There she is.
There she is.
She's just... we just got Time magazine today. Opened up, and Mary's just made a film. It's just opening in New York today, called Melvin and Howard, about Howard Hughes and the man who... The pretender to the will, Melvin Dumas. And we opened it up, and it says the most wonderful review for the film and for Mary. So that was like a sort of honeymoon present.
Anyway, we wish you obviously success
Thank you.
in whatever it is, especially with John Gielgud. And we
Thank
shall all, if it's not banned, we shall all fly across to New York and see you there. Meanwhile, thank you very much, Malcolm Mcdowell. You will remember, a year ago last March, the sudden and tragic death of a young actor who used to make us all laugh a lot, Richard Beckins.